So this morning on Good Morning Britain, a show that is very painful to watch, especially based on the past 3 years of these racist, malicious attacks against the Duchess of Sussex. And likewise with the attacks on the Duchess, there are, of course, these unprecedented attacks on the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry. The attacks have been so brutal and so racist and so cruel. I mean, it's not just bordering on bullying. It is bullying. From all of the, I can't think of any part of the British press that has not been involved with the bullying of Meghan Markle to one degree or another. And now the BBC has decided that once again, it would join in the fun of attacking this still rather newly minted Duchess, and not to forget the mother of two now, and a woman of color. A woman of color being bullied in the British media day after day after day. That I should ever live to see a day where Good Morning America or the Today Show or CBS This Morning, that I should live to see the day where they would launch attacks on the likes of, say, Michelle Obama, Oprah Winfrey. In our mainstream media, we just do not have the equivalent. The only thing that comes close is that god-awful Fox network and any other, like, extremist right-wing, nationalistic, racist news, or not even news, but just any other garbage out there that tries to pass themselves off as being mainstream media. So you got these wannabes that for some reason are serving as tools or instruments of the British right-wing, nationalistic, racist media. So that being said, Trisha Goddard was available for the Good Morning Britain show. And so to balance her words, they found some Karen that was trying to obfuscate in any way possible, which is interesting because I don't even know what that word means, but I'm thinking that's what she did. Firstly, Trisha Goddard did point out the fact that Harry and the Queen are still very close, which we found out from the James Corden video that he, for quite some time, has had this relationship with his grandmother and his grandfather where they would chat over the Zoom calls. And there was no mention of that in the British tabloid press, which just goes to show that even though they pretend as though they see and hear everything, or that they have this ultimate insider, somehow that thing they missed, just like they missed the birth of the baby. They were nowhere to be found. Not even TMZ was able to catch it, and before anything happened, they were already back home and enjoying their growing family for 2 days. Trisha Goddard also pointed out that there is nothing that Prince Harry has said since stepping back from duty that Prince Charles hasn't mentioned in some form of fashion over the years about growing up royal. There's nothing that he said, even about his parents, the fact that things were not ideal for him as a child. Let's not forget the Queen. I believe once Charles was born, or whenever she went to the, when she was coronated, after her coronation, and she went to go around the Commonwealth on the Britannia, wasn't she gone for 6 months without seeing her child? She was gone for 6 months, breaking in the Britannia and ruling the waves, and Prince Charles was back in the UK under the care of his governess or his nanny or whatever. So yeah, that was not quite ideal. And with the weight of the dwindling empire, how much of a mother could she have possibly been at 25 years old with all this responsibility? I'm not assigning blame. I'm just saying what the facts are. And of course, Trisha Goddard also pointed out the idea that when the first baby was born, it was not beneath someone in radio to tweet a picture of a chimpanzee. As we remember, royal baby leaves hospital or goes home from hospital. And then, of course, the other one, you have someone on Twitter recently who I believe was terminated from their employment because she thought it was a good idea to conflate this death of George Floyd and George Floyd's name along with another barrister or whatever the heck she was. This was a big joke, even referring to the baby as it, dehumanizing a newborn baby. There's no official so public that is ever acceptable to demonize a child. To demonize a child. Again, I should live so long to see something like here in the United States where it seems to be okay in the mainstream media. Not to say that the mainstream media in the UK is saying that it's okay, but I think that the hostility from the tabloid press is what fosters these nasty, negative comments in the social media. One feeds off the other. And if the tabloid press do not have the courage to say it, then they'll just simply quote the person who said it. Or they'll even display photos of that individual's Twitter, so that way they can say it without saying it. It's a very passive-aggressive way. A passive-aggressive way to attack someone is by just quoting someone else's tweets. And I'm sure Trisha Goddard has better things to do than to listen to my rants on the YouTube. But she said the same thing I said. She said it's bullying. And in this case, they're bullying an infant child, a family of 4, a royal family. Despite their station in life, they are not beyond this constant barrage of bullying. Same thing I said in the video that I posted yesterday. Royal baby bullies. So in this situation, let's say God bless Suanna Reid, because she said exactly what I'm sure a lot of people are thinking that are not comfortable with this type of bullying over the airwaves. She said this palace source made a choice to divulge this information. Whether or not it was true, they had a choice whether or not to escalate an already painful situation for the Queen, for the firm, for the royal family, by mentioning this idea that the Queen was not informed, she was not asked, and by this person doing this horrible deed, this so-called palace insider, if they actually exist, look at the fallout of it. Now there's a potential lawsuit or defamation suit because of the BBC reporting this. And as I'm to understand, even at this very moment, they have not removed this from their social media. They have not taken this down. They have not walked it back. They have not apologized. Now, if they have, by the time you hear this, that's a good thing. It's the right thing to do. But it should have never come out in the first place. It is very sloppy and clumsy. I mean, BBC, aren't you in enough hot water from the Martin Bashir? But let's continue. So this Karen goes on to say that the idea that this was mentioned by a so-called palace insider is beside the point. It's beside the point. And in other words, there's no need to even mention this because, that's already said and done. But let's focus on the fact that this has led to lawyers sending letters from the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to the BBC. at that point, this is when Trisha decided that she would weigh in a little deeper. But the fact that Susanna Reid even decided to question exactly what the intention of this was is interesting. Again, I'm not saying that I'm giving any kind of approval to Good Morning Britain, because over the years they have been particularly brutal to the Duchess of Sussex. The big difference is now you could actually hear other people, because that claymation of a commentator is gone, because he abruptly stormed out of the studio like a petulant child. So Trisha Goddard did point out the fact that Prince Harry, just like Trisha Goddard herself, the two of them have been proponents of mental health advocacy for quite some time. And even though this Karen was trying to really go after Prince Harry on the idea that he's causing harm and he's setting back the movement for mental health and mental health care awareness, Trisha Goddard really laid in on her and just pointed out, you're in other words, she's saying, don't try to take that away from him. There's no way that this situation with being bullied about the baby's name in any way is distracting from the pursuit of mental health care awareness. If anything, is bringing more light to it, because you are causing pain by bullying these new parents, by being very disrespectful and even cruel to a newborn baby, bullying a child, an infant, about the naming of a baby. It's as though I think we barely got 5 minutes into the press release before the drum beat started, and it continues at this very moment. It's still all over social media, and as of this morning, Good Morning America, the Today Show, everybody's talking about it. And this is what I mean by the tabloids bleeding into mainstream media here in the U.S. They are trying to inflict as much pain as possible. So between Trisha Goddard and Susanna Reid, this Karen, who seems to be tone deaf, if not just plain malicious, decided to just further ramp up any of this hostile. This, as I said in my last video, this needs to stop. This is not a good look for the United Kingdom. At a time when you have the President of the United States visiting the United Kingdom, and he's meeting with the Queen on Sunday, I believe it is, on the 13th. Is that Saturday? Sunday? He's meeting with the Queen, and this is all playing out in the media over there and in the background. And then, of course, as I said, Good Morning America, the Today Show, they're talking about the baby's name. This should be a national embarrassment for the British, especially at the time when the United States President is visiting. This is the talk of the town. And on top of that, that sweet old lady that everybody is so warm toward, I don't know what, if anything, she can or cannot say about this or is willing to do about it, but her favorite grandson is being raked over the coals, and so is his entire family. They just had a baby, and they cannot fully enjoy this without this cloud of despair lingering over the birth of a child, an infant. They have somehow created something terribly negative about the birth of a baby. That is shameful, it's disgraceful. It is the very worst. It is the very worst of our humanity, that it's okay to. I was you've heard my other videos. I was so excited. I was emotional. I was so moved with the birth of this child. And every day this drum beat is getting louder. And it's much to do about nothing. That's the whole thing, is it's pointless. As Suanna Reid said, and I can't believe that I'm quoting her, well, I'm going to loosely quote her. The person that, the so-called palace insider, if that person exists anyway, had a choice before this information was leaked to the BBC, which really begs the question, has someone within the royal family, within the firm, within the palace, some courtier, were they the ones who leaked this information or started this drumbeat or just flat out lied to perpetuate this falsehood? So, and I think that the ultimate goal, this is what I can't get out of my head. The ultimate goal is to create so much negativity around the Duke and Duchess of Sussex that somehow is going to inhibit them from earning money. But what's happening is you are helping them to recruit an army of young people that see the obvious blatant bullying, and that is only going to make the Sussex case stronger. This is just like the unintended law of consequences at play. The more you try to vilify them, the stronger it's going to make them in the future. Instead of preventing them from earning and sustaining themselves and living with a certain amount of financial and physical security, you're actually helping the cause, because people see this. And even for people who didn't necessarily know anything about them and may not even care about them, they do care about mental health. They do care about this electronic lynching taking place in the British media, in the tabloid media. And that's what it is. It's an electronic lynching. It's a hate campaign. And while it may yield the results of pushing the Duke and Duchess down in the polls over in the UK, trust me, it's a zero-sum gain over here. The only people that are being won over are the same people who still think that the former president won the election. Those are the people that are your allies. Good luck with that. I mean, I've seen those people, and let's see how far you can get with that. Anyway, that's it for today. My frustration continues. I'm not as agitated by this as I was yesterday. And Trisha Goddard, I don't know her full history. I only know that she's like a media personality from the UK. But this was a very solid defense. I'm not advocating that anybody gravitate toward Good Morning Britain. There are certain people that if I see them on a thumbnail, I nearly destroy my device. Especially the one who pretends to be the sweet aunt who wrote a book about Harry, and every time there's something that comes up, they just, oh, what do you think? As if she even knows him. She wrote a book. I don't know how much of a conversation or relationship that they've had, but this person said, and I'm not even going to say her name, but she says that even her mother doesn't like her. And I can understand that. I look at her and I'm just like, I have this utter disdain for this person, because she sits there in her elegant kitchen, and you know the lighting is so bad and her face is just all squished together. I can't even tell what's opening and what's producing sound. That's how. But that's what anger and hostility and evil has a certain way of creating a certain look on a person. And even the most attractive person is made unattractive by evil. So I think that this mean-spirited campaign that she's involved herself in, when she really ought to consider, other things in life, but instead she's going after the person who she pretends that she cares about. I mean, anything. This person even, I'm not even going to say what she said about Meghan's book, but she said the Duchess of Sussex book wasn't really that great, and I'm just like, on what authority do you say these things? And you know full well that if things were different, if they were playing along with the game that they wanted them to play at the palace by walking in William's shadow and all that kind of stuff, if they played that game and decided to half themselves or be less than fully functional able-bodied people that they are, the hardworking people that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, these are the people that they are. They're hardworking. They're a power couple, but they're trying to dim their light. If they played along with all of that, then that troll that pretends to be Harry's friend, like she's his fairy godmother, that she would be singing a different tune. But because he has used his voice, because he is actually standing up for himself and not being a puppet or a plaything for the royal family, then of course you have all of these people who said they liked him so much. They don't seem to have any conflict with this hate campaign against him. And that shows you how easily people will sell themselves out just to put in a new kitchen or, have a house in the country, whatever it is, to take their vacation in Ibiza, wherever they go, or whatever it is they need in terms of material things. They will be willing to be absolutely cruel. They will bully anybody. And I don't even think it's limited to just certain people. I think anybody in that family, if it suits their narrative, they would turn against him. Like Harry said, they're all afraid. Everything that Harry said in the Oprah Winfrey interview, all of it is playing out right in front of us. All of it is true. Everything that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex said in that interview is absolutely true. There doesn't seem to be any deviation from it. The only difference is on one side of the Atlantic, across the pond, they tried to twist and manipulate and rewrite the narrative, rewrite the history, so that they can try to convince people that all of these things were false. But yet it plays out in front of us, so how could it be untrue? Anyway, this is another one of those rants of mine. Thank you so much, you guys. Thanks for helping this channel to be super, super successful. Those of you that have recently subscribed, thank you so much. And for those of you who have donated through my Patreon, my Cash App, and my PayPal, what can I say? You complete me. Everything so far, and I tell you, I'm going to have to go pretty far, but everything so far is going right back into the channel. I'm definitely not getting ahead, but I like what I'm doing, so this is, not a big deal. I'm in a position where I can do it right now, but thank you so much, and God bless. And please pray for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Pray for Archie and Lily, because there's a looming cloud over all things Sussex at the time being. And because they are on paternity leave, it's not going to be much opportunity for them to challenge these narratives. But that's what they got us for, right? So don't worry, we got your backs, especially since you're over on this side of the water. We can definitely help out. So continue to pray, continue sending positive energy, whatever it is, light a candle, ring a bell. But let's meditate on this and let's continue to make a difference, because we are standing on principle. This is more than just the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. This is about mental health. This is about anti-bullying. It's about a lot of things. It's not just the individuals, but it's the principle. And that's what we're standing on, is on principle. So let's continue to do that. And when things are, said or done that is improper, we're going to just call them out on it. We're going to keep calling them out. And we're going to do that until they get the message. We've been able to do a lot so far, and we'll continue to do more. And of course, one of those things you can do is to continue to support these platforms. Megapedia, the Sussex Squad podcast, Markle Sparkle, and of course, Meghan and Harry News. Let's continue to support these individual platforms so that we can bring pressure on these negative messages and bullying. We have to do that. And if you have any kind of smart device, then you have a platform. Go on the Instagram, the Twitter. We need more voices. Get your own YouTube channel. Trust me, I'm not afraid of the competition. I welcome competition. If it means that we can get these messages out there, then it means everything to me. And, I'll support you. I do follow a few people on the YouTube and make comments or whatever. And I just make, like, I think Tina said it a while ago. She said, put it on. If you're cleaning the house, just log on to these YouTube channels that are positive and supporting the Sussexes. Put it on, and do your errands or whatever. But make sure that you are feeding that algorithm so more and more people can be exposed to the truth rather than the negativity. Okay? Keep doing that. I'm doing it myself. And sometimes I don't have the time for it, but I just, put it on, let it play. And sometimes I'll go back and I'll look at the Sussex Squad podcast again and just, if I'm cleaning or, doing whatever around the house, I'll just listen to it again. Do that. Okay? All right. Thanks a lot, you guys.